Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Yesterday was a very special day. It was the release of Warcraft 3 Reforged. 18 odd years after the original release, Blizzard had taken a team of dedicated people, had tweaked the graphics, modernized them, modernized the UI, the cinematics, everything, in an effort to bring you a definitive Warcraft 3 Reforged experience. I'm only shitting you. They stole your money. They stole your money. Okay. So, people are not happy at all with the release of Warcraft 3 Reforged for multiple different reasons. I'm going to take you to this tweet from a chap called Wilmer Luna. And he literally just puts down a list of everything that was wrong for him at launch. The reason why I've used this one is this pretty much sums it up. Very disappointed, Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, naughties. You release Warcraft 3 Reforged. 1. Prologue is instant defeat. We'll have a look at that in a moment. You cannot play it. Custom matchmaking doesn't work. Team invites don't work. Create channel doesn't work. Can't play with friends. Essentially, the multiplayer seemed to be complete and utterly broken. And on top of that, let's just go to this clip here on Twitch. This chap here, he's just sorting out his settings. He's a bit confused by the reduced violence setting, which is grayed out. He cannot do anything about it. Goes into the game. Bye! Just instantly defeats him. And there were multiple people complaining of this issue. They couldn't even get past the prologue because every time they loaded up a game, they would just get defeat screen come up. And that was that. Not everyone was suffering from this, but it was one thing that was very much an issue with people. I want to also take you now to this. When it was announced at BlizzCon 2018, we had the cutscenes, which seemed to be redone. And you can see on the left, it's BlizzCon 2018, and on the right is the released cutscenes. Now, if I was just to play a snippet, for example, here, you can see that this is a proper in-game cinematic. They've used the in-game tools, and they've created cinematics with nice editing, highlighting the characters at the time. But when you look on the right, they're literally just using the game engine, and then we have profile pictures instead of actual cinematics. So we see up close how the villagers are suffering. Villagers, Stratholme residents are suffering. The cinematic here, of course, is much, much better. Number one, it looks great. And number two, it really highlights exactly what's going on the screen. This is just generic compared to what they showed off, okay? So people are feeling that they've been misled. They're feeling as if they have been lied to by Blizzard. So if we go to the actual Warcraft 3 Reforged Twitter, I'm sure this is going to be an absolute pleasant, lovely thing to deal with. It is just complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint after complaint from people. You can even see, even it's not ratioed, but the amount of comments, 300 odd comments nearly in this, and they are just not positive in the slightest. I've scrolled down a fair bit. Now, this seems to be another complaint by people, is what is going on with the graphics? Some of the models seem to have an updated look. Some of the models don't seem to have an updated look. People have been complaining about the environments looking completely out of place, as if just the assets on top of it were redone, and then the environments themselves don't look as if they've been pretty much touched at all. People complaining about key bindings, people complaining about the UI and the inability to do anything with it. And as you can see, the worst remake we've ever seen. Pathetic, ridiculous work. I'm sure glad it is and not bugged. It'd be horrible if your campaign just kicked people to the defeat screen, or if there was an infinite versus search, unplayable custom games, and let's not forget how bad it would be if you couldn't even invite a friend to a team. That sounds awfully familiar, doesn't it? Because this is exactly what Wilma succinctly posted. And we go down. After 2 hours and 15 minutes of not being able to play anything, I requested a refund. Y'all had 2 years to re-release an 18-year-old game and couldn't even get it right. And that seems to be a huge bugbear with people, is literally the ineptness of Blizzard here. Yes, it was announced at BlizzCon 2018. I believe we knew that they were working on it before then anyway. It missed the initial release date because they needed more time to fix it. And then more complaints seem to be coming in saying that the release build doesn't seem to deviate from old beta builds, which had the same issues and a lot of problems. Now, I'm not going to pop this on screen. I'm going to spare you something. But I did go to the Warcraft 3 Reforged bug report thread, forum, and it's literally full of the exact same things which seem to be affecting the game at the moment. Game crashes, can't load into this mode, can't load into that mode, black screen, can't create games, can't use matchmaking, can't join parties. It's just all over this. So these are existing problems which Blizzard very much knew about. And oopsie doopsies. Shall we see if we can actually find a positive comment down here? I haven't, like I said, I've scrolled and I've not found one. Shame on you, Blizzard. It's almost the same build close to beta stage game development. There we go. Lots of bugs, lags, frame rate drops. I beta tested it and it wasn't so bad as you seem to imply. And then it's actually worse now than it was on the beta version. Ay. And then somebody replied and then decided, actually, let's just back out of this argument. You guys spent 2 years working on a reskin and an update air client, and this thing is garbage. Way to trash the game that got me into Blizzard games. So things like the cinematics, not the in-game cinematics, the actual cinematics themselves. And they are iconic cinematics, don't get me wrong. I watched the kind of like the Warcraft stories told in cinematic ones. This is going back a few years. I just sat down on YouTube and just watched all these cinematics back to back, and then it would be kind of like tapered off, and then you'd have the end of whatever campaign mission it was to take you into the next one. So you knew the story that was going on. And that's how, essentially, I kind of got my lore for Warcraft. And these are iconic cinematics, and you would have hoped, considering they are taking money from people for this. This isn't a freebie. You're paying cash dollar money for this reforged version of the game. You would hope that they would have done that. But no, it was actually a few months ago, that Blizzard actually said that they're not going to be tweaking the cinematics at all. You're still going to get them in the same aspect ratio and everything of the previous one. So, especially with that, and then suddenly you have your in-game cinematics just reduced from these really cool ones down to some very, very basic stuff. Again, ask the question, have people been misled by the release of this game? When you're shown one thing, I know it says might not, sometimes they have like this, this is a work in progress and might not fit the release version. But when you're showing something like that off, it's a pretty big bait and switch from these sort of animations, this sort of animation style to suddenly just kind of, reworking the in-game. It's not good. It's not good at all. Developers right now, yeah, look, it's not good at all. Look, folks, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is a company that don't give a shite about you anymore. I don't know how many times I have to say that, and I don't know how many times Blizzard have to actually show it to you. They're only interested in your money. They clearly demonstrated that they're not... Don't give a toss about your loyalty. Don't give a toss about whether you defend them or not. They don't give anything... Not bothered. They just want cash, bucks, dollar, sterling, ruples, Fortnite, V-Bucks. That's all they want off you. Nothing more. You are nothing but a wallet to these people. Ay, chihuahua. Anyway, there we go. It seems to be a complete and utter mess with this game. I'm not hearing anything of any... I'm not hearing any positivity come out about it at all. Now, I bought this because it was before... ah, boy. It was before all of the kind of drama started. It was kind of like right at the beginning of the Diablo Immortal drama. And I pre-purchased this. So I've had this pre-purchase since, what, November 2018. So just over a year and a bit now, or whatever. But even because I won't be touching this game anyway until the Blitzchung ban runs out. Because I'm not touching any Blizzard games at all until at least that happens. But it is something that I'm thinking, look, you can have your meat wagon back, and I'll just take a refund, to be honest with you. So there we go, folks. Blizzard showing once again that they couldn't give a flying fuck. They just want your money. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media, and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.